So as you guys all know, Bernie Sanders has already dropped out of the Democratic presidential primary, but nonetheless, he is still on the ballot in all of the states to basically gain delegates to take to the convention. When you take a lot of delegates to the convention, it basically means, hey, we've got people behind us, which means we have negotiation power. We have negotiating power. And so the more delegates that you have, the better. And so Bernie Sanders has now crossed the 1,000 marker for delegates. He's currently sitting at 1,007 delegates to Joe Biden's 1,566. So that's actually, for somebody who kind of lost kind of handily, after a certain point, that's actually still a good amount of delegates to have. I also find it really funny that the next closest is Elizabeth Warren at 58 delegates. Pretty funny, the big difference between these candidates. But he's crossed the 1,000 marker. There was apparently Hawaii was on May 22nd. Oregon was on May 19th. Bernie kind of getting swamped a little bit in Oregon, surprisingly, although not surprisingly because he dropped out, obviously. But the Hawaii results, I think, were very interesting, though. If you take a look at these Hawaii results here, Joe Biden won Hawaii, obviously. But Bernie still almost managed to pick up 40% of the vote, which is like, wow, okay, you're pulling like, almost 40%. You're not even in the race anymore. Like, that's a big sign for a state like Hawaii, but I believe Hawaii had gone to Bernie in 2016 pretty handily at that. I think that was during the day sweep that we had of like Alaska, Hawaii, and Washington. I think they were all on the same day or something to that effect. I forgot the exact details, but it was something like that. So, good news that he's crossed 1,000 delegates. I know that, this isn't like anything crazy or anything like that, but I would not underscore what this means. Again, this means that, progressives have much more sway at the DNC and the convention, and also, creating the rules for the next election cycle is so crucial. Because it makes it more realistic and more possible for progressives to actually win. So a big thing you got to remember is superdelegates used to be on the first ballot in 2016, but we actually got them off of the first ballot because Bernie had, a lot of delegates. They went to this, quote, unity commission or whatever. I think that's what it was called. And they had their commission, and then one of the compromises that the corporatists came to was, hey, we'll take the superdelegates off of the first ballot. We're not going to remove them completely, but we're still going to allow superdelegates to potentially sort of do a coup if nobody reaches that 1991 margin. But we'll take them off the first ballot so that it's not like you get a head start. Whoever the corporate candidate is just gets a head start because all of their corporate friends in the Democratic Party are going to endorse them. Those are all the superdelegates, by the way. Everyone in the Democratic Party is a superdelegate. So all the politicians, that is, the legislators and stuff. So that I think is important, that we can't underscore this, and let's look at this kind of like maybe like a bright spot in otherwise a dark nightmare of a storm. So yeah, I just thought I'd update you on that. Bernie Sanders crossing the 1,000 margin for delegates. Let's hope he keeps racking them up.